time. We now join it in the second half. 55 minutes of the match had gone when Per Zetterberg beat two Israeli defenders to put the ball past Ginsberg and make it 3-0. And after 65 minutes, it was Thomas Brolin getting a hat-trick, beating Ginsberg, who looked to be unsighted from the 30-metre shot. 4-0 for Sweden, and they were to make it 5-0 with just a minute to go through the substitute, Stefan Landberg. An excellent result for Sweden, who beat Israel 5-0. So let's take a look now at Group 6. Sweden now go ahead of France on goal difference. Bulgaria and Austria are third and fourth, but it looks very much as though the Swedes and the French will make it through from Group 6. And finally, a look at Group 1, where Scotland beat Estonia 3-1 last night. Scotland having very few chances now to make it through to the World Cup finals. Switzerland and Italy are the favourites to make it through. Scotland are at home to Switzerland. They then travel to Italy and to Malta. It looks as though their chances have disappeared.
Ryan Giggs played a part in all three goals. First with a pass to Dean Saunders, and then the corner kick from which Eric Young scored his first goal for Wales. And finally, another Giggs dribble ended with a brilliant volley by Ian Rush for his 25th international goal.
From Great Britain to go to the World Finals. Well, they're still slotting them home. Saunders, Young and Rush with the 3 goals in Toftir to beat the Faroe Islands, who stay bottom of Group 4. South Korea and Hong Kong did battle in the Asia zone of the World Cup qualifiers. Choi Moon-sik for South Korea, opening the scoring after 12 minutes. And just 11 minutes later, it was all squared up by Hong Kong. Oh Wai-lung leveling it up. Jung Jae-wong late on in the game made it 2-1 to Korea, but it wasn't over yet. Hae Suk-yeol, just 8 minutes later, slotted home just inside the post. And a minute after that, Noi Yum-yong sealed the game for Korea. Well, he didn't look too happy. Happier far later, believe me. Tremendous goal in Group D of the Asia zone. Well, later, South Korea in action once again against Lebanon. Hae Suk-yeol once again on the score sheet after 31 minutes, and Kwan Hwang-bo making it South Korea 2, Lebanon 0. 2 great games for the South Koreans, and currently they are on top of Group D. Now let's take a look at that Group D in the Asia zone. The most recent result, South Korea beating Lebanon 2-0. They stay top of the zone. Ahead of Bahrain, Hong Kong are third, then Lebanon, followed by India at the foot. Well, in Australia, Melbourne, national side playing here in the yellow and green, took on New Zealand. Verkaal opening up right from the kickoff. Just 1 minute had elapsed when he slotted this one home. Australia hoping with this result to gain a match against Canada, winners of the CONCACAF, and find themselves possibly on the way to America. Vitmar Aurelio heading in just under the bar 3 minutes after Verkaal. And then just after the turnaround, Zelik Nedielko made it 3-0 to Australia. Australia now play winners of the runners-up in the CONCACAF zone, Canada, for a place in the States. Welcome to Eurosport News. My name's Carlton Kirby. England's woes continued in the reign of Massachusetts. This goal cut back beautifully for Tom Dooley after the 42nd minute put the United States ahead in the US Cup against England. 38,000 adoring fans then went berserk as Chris Woods was outjumped by Alex Lalas to put the United States 2-0 up. Absolutely nothing that England could do could get past Tony Meola in the United States goal. He was tremendous, closing down absolutely everything that Ian Wright and the rest of the England side could throw at him. The humiliation continues for England. The USA 2, England 0. World Cup action last night. The Netherlands taking on Norway. Holland desperate to take advantage of England's disastrous results, going down 2-0, of course. England in Norway. Holland were pulling out all the plugs. Van Basten not having the best of luck. New generation of players, the wingers, Blinker and Ormans, just not getting the service from the Dutch. The Norwegians, for their part, turned on the machinery as per usual. No stars of particular note in their side, although Jan Agger Fjärtoft played a cracker. Holland definitely with most of the chances. They just didn't put them away as they should have done. So let's take a look at the Group 2 table. And this is how it stands at the moment. Norway on top, you can almost pencil them in for a trip to the States. England lucky to stay in second place, level on points with the Netherlands. All the top three have played 7 matches. It's all to play for. It could well come down to that match, that crucial game in Holland between England and the Netherlands. Elsewhere, Jack Charlton's Ireland side played Latvia in Riga. You can put your money on them. They go level with Spain on points. A goal after 14 minutes from John Aldrich, and another later from Paul McGrath just before the break. Must have warmed Big Jack's heart. The Irish had plenty of opportunities. Niall Quayle, Andy Townsend, Roy Keane also going close there. McGrath's goal, Latvia 0, Ireland 2. And this is what it looks like at the moment. Spain on top with 13 points. Ireland the same points with a game in hand. They're looking good, are the Irish. They're ahead of Denmark. Northern Ireland in 4th place. Latvia, who played Ireland, in 6th above Albania.
Well, welcome to Eurosport News. The Copa America is underway with 12 American nations meeting in Ecuador to take part in the 3-week-long football competition. The first phase being put aside for qualifying in 3 groups of 4. The top 2 making it to the quarter-finals, where they will be joined by the 2 best third-place nations. Favourites for the competition are the holders Argentina, who are unbeaten in 25 matches. Brazil will also be expected to go a long way, but surprises could come from either Mexico or the United States, who are both making their debuts in the competition. And why not Ecuador, who will be spurred on by an enthusiastic home crowd. Indeed, this was the scene before their opening match against Venezuela last night. 45,000 packed into the Atahualpa Stadium in the capital, Quito. Well, we join the match in the 20th minute, and it's Ecuador playing a nice attacking football in the opening part of the game, coming forward and causing Venezuela 1 or 2 problems. A foul there perhaps on Hurtado, the referee deciding that was a foul on Aguiniga. And so a very dangerous free kick on the edge of the Venezuelan penalty area. Many people thought it would be Aguinaga to take it, but it was Carlos Munoz, the 28-year-old, who stepped off. A nice right-footed shot. And there you have it, after 20 minutes, Ecuador 1-0 up against Venezuela, just what the home crowd were waiting for. And indeed, they were to go further ahead. 32 minutes of the match had gone. The corner by Aguinaga, headed on by Hurtado. Carabaldi first seeing his header saved, and the shot by Raul Noriega finding the back of the net, and Ecuador 2-0 up, and indeed that was the score at half-time. We now join it in the second half, and it's still Ecuador very much the superior side. A long ball from Montenegro finding Carlos Munoz, who himself finds Angel Fernandez, the 21-year-old who was to turn out to be the man of the match in this game last night, making it 3-0 after 57 minutes. By now, the home crowd certainly enjoying themselves. Well, things had started badly for Venezuela, and they were to get worse after 60 minutes. The young Venezuelan defence simply unable to cope with the Ecuador attacks. And this foul by Carlos Garcia Mijares on Aguinaga. Seeing the referee reach for his pocket, he'd already brought out a yellow card for Mijares. This time, the colour was to be red. Both men injured slightly in the challenge, but the main damage being caused to Venezuela, who were reduced to 10 men after 60 minutes. And that spurred Ecuador onto greater feats. Indeed, after 66 minutes, Carabali down the right, finding Eduardo Hurtado, who beats Dudamel, who'd come off his line maybe 1 or 2 meters too many, and 4-0 the score after 66 minutes. Ecuador running away with the match by this point. However, Venezuela were to get one consolation goal. It came after 78 minutes. Stalin Rivas with the ball forward for Jose Delgueta. His first shot saved, but the second one finding the back of the net. And 4-1 the score, though Venezuela with little hope of pulling this one out of the bag at this point. Indeed, it was Ecuador who kept coming forward, and just 3 minutes later, they were to make the most of the young Venezuelan defence, trying to do things just a little too complicated at the back. Aguinaga finding Angel Fernandez for his second goal of the match. Rounding off a fine performance for him, and with 9 minutes to go, Ecuador were 5-1 in front. And indeed, they weren't to stop there. Just 4 minutes later, a lovely combination down the right between Fernandez and Carlos Munoz, finding the ever-present Alex Aguinaga. He put away the ball, and after 85 minutes, it was 6-1 for Ecuador. That indeed was the final score. 6-1, an excellent result for Ecuador. Indeed, their biggest ever win in any competition. An excellent start for them in the Copa America. So Ecuador beat Venezuela. These are the matches that are going to be played tonight. Uruguay at home to the debut makers USA. Also Mexico making their debut against Colombia. And tomorrow Argentina, the favourites, will be at home to Bolivia. Remember, you can follow the Copa America for the next 3. The Copa America continues in Ecuador. And in Group A last night, Uruguay took on the United States, who were making their debut in the competition. This match was held in Ambato, and it brought together two sides playing without their star players. The United States without the European-based players, and that the same case for Uruguay. Well, a tight match between these two sides. After 17 minutes, a move by Uruguay could have given them the lead, but a lovely save by Kobe Jones from Acilio de los Santos, keeping America in the match. And again, a further chance for Jorge de Silva And again, a lovely save from Kobe Jones. 0-0 the score at half-time. However, after 51 minutes, Uruguay were to go ahead. Defender Santiago Ostalazo rising above a rather static United States defence to make it 1-0. The Americans, though, had a chance to equalise. They were far from out of this match. Jen Haber hitting the bar with just 5 minutes to go, and that indeed was their last chance. 1-0 the final score. A reasonable start for Uruguay, but the United States are far from out of the running. All of which means that in Group 3, Ecuador lead from Uruguay. Ecuador, of course, beat Venezuela in their opening match by a full 6-1. The USA are third and Venezuela fourth. Two sides go through from each of the three groups, plus the two best third-place teams, so the United States still have a chance. In Group C, in Manchala, Colombia met Mexico last night in what turned out to be a rather eventful match. Colombia perhaps just short favourites to beat Mexico, and indeed they took the lead after 35 minutes. That goal beautifully taken with the right foot from Adolfo Valenciano. That made it 1-0 for Colombia, and that indeed was the score at half-time. Mexico making their debut just like the United States in this competition, and they got a goal 13 minutes into the second half. It came through Roberto Alves, who'd come on at half-time as a substitute for Hugo Sanchez. Well, the match was interrupted for 20 minutes in the second half of floodlight failure, and when they came out, it was Colombia on the attack. In the very last minute, the shot by Diego Osoro, saved by Campos. But the Uruguayan referee deciding the ball had crossed the line. The Mexicans protested, but the goal stood, and in the very last minute, Colombia had snatched the points. The referee's decision had been made. And Colombia took the match by 2-1. Mexico rather unhappy with the outcome. And we can now take a look at Group C and see what that result means. Just one match played, that was between Colombia and Mexico. So Colombia take the lead of the group. The favourites are Argentina, spelt wrong on our caption there, you may have noticed. They take on Bolivia, and you can see that match tomorrow on Eurosport. The 1994 World Cup finals are exactly 1 year away, and the qualifying competition is coming down to the crucial stage. In Group 3 yesterday, the Republic of Ireland travelled to Vilnius to take on Lithuania, knowing a win would take them to the top of the group. Well, it was a tough match, and one or two people maybe expected the Republic to put 1 or 2 goals past Lithuania. Indeed, there was only 1 goal in the match. It came after the free kick by Steve Staunton after 38 minutes. Turned in, perhaps by Niall Quinn. The goal, though, accredited to Steve Staunton, and that was the final score, 1-0 for the Republic of Ireland. All of which means that the Republic go top of Group 3. They now look to be one of the stronger favourites to take one of the 2 qualifying places. Spain and Denmark will have their word to say about that, but the Republic of Ireland look to be well set to make the trip to the United States. One match was played in Group 4 last night. It saw the RCS, the former Czechoslovakia, beating the Faroe Islands by 3-0, all of which means that Belgium still lead the group. They look sure to go through. The other place will be a fight between Romania, the RCS, and Wales. Well, we end our World Cup roundup in Group 5, where Iceland took on Hungary in Reykjavik, with nothing but pride to play for in a group where Greece and Russia have already qualified. Hungary would nevertheless have been favourites to take the points, if only for their greater international experience. However, it was the amateurs of Iceland who opened the score after 13 minutes. Eyjolfur Sverrisson getting the goal. And 1-0 at half-time for Iceland. We join the match now in the second half. A foul by Gabor Marton on an Icelandic forward, giving Marton his second yellow card, which indeed turned out to be, of course, a red one, and Hungary were down to 10 men. and Iceland made full use of their numerical advantage. After 78 minutes, Arnór Gudjónsson made it 2-0 with a beautiful lob from the right. 2-0, the final score yesterday for Iceland, a great result for an ever-improving Icelandic side. So we can now take a look at World Cup Group 5. The result, of course, with little meaning in the group because Russia and Greece can already start packing their bags for the United States. Iceland, though, will be very happy to be above the experienced Hungarian side. Iceland certainly wants to look out for in the future. We'll be back after this short break. Indeed, we'll be back. First, we're going to take a look at this table, where in Group 6 last night, Finland drew with Israel, no goals in the match. Sweden and France still favourites to go through from Group 6. Right, we're going to take that short break now. We'll be back with basketball action, so stay with us.
In soccer's World Cup, Iran in white need a draw in order to qualify ahead of their Syrian hosts and reach the second round of Asian qualifying. Darakhshan gives them the lead in the 15th minute. The Syrians now have to score twice, but don't really threaten the Iranian defense until they're awarded a last-minute penalty. Kadir scores, but it's not enough. Iran qualify on goal difference and join Japan, North and South Korea, Saudi Arabia and Iraq in the final qualifying group, to be played in Qatar in October. We'll bring you an insight into the political tensions thrown up by this group next week.
In Dallas, the USA in white played Jamaica in the opening match of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The holders almost opened the scoring, but Wegerle is foiled by some brilliant defending. Jamaica counter-attack, and Anglin is unfortunate to see his shot come off the post. But 3 minutes from the end, Wijnaldum breaks the deadlock and the USA begin their title defence with victory in Group A.
With such support, Zambia swiftly established themselves as one of the best teams on the continent. In 1973, they reached the final group of 3 in the African qualifiers. But defeat at home to Zaire put paid to their chances of reaching their first finals. By the late 1980s, Zambian soccer was once again among the best. And at the Olympics in Seoul, they achieved one of Africa's most remarkable results. In a group match against a near full-strength Italy, Zambia won 4-0. 3 goals were scored by Kalusha Bwalya and the other by his unrelated namesake, Johnston. Over the next 4 years, Kalusha and Johnston were joined by more exceptional players. Goalkeeper Efa Chabala, midfielder Eston Mulenga, goal scorers Timothy Umwitwa, Kelvin Mutale and Davi Makinka. At the start of the World Cup qualifiers, hopes were high that for the first time ever, Zambia would go to the finals. Which is why April the 28th, 1993 was the darkest day in the nation's history. Inside the stadium, there's a desperate hope that the new team can beat Morocco and perhaps go on to qualify for the World Cup. President Chiluba is there to see if a miracle can be achieved. The new Zambians come out, led by captain Kalusha Bwalya. Kalusha, who plays for PSV Eindhoven in Holland, is the best player ever produced by Zambia. The only Zambian ever nominated African Footballer of the Year. And it's to him that the inexperienced players look for leadership. But in addition to leadership, Zambia also need luck, and that is slower in arriving. Defender Linos Makwasa is knocked out after only 90 seconds, and the team need to reshuffle. Then, fate again favours the Moroccans. And after only 15 minutes, the unkindest cut of all. Rashid Daoudi puts the Moroccans in front, and a stern test of the young Zambian skill and character lies ahead. With an hour gone, the Moroccan defence is holding firm. The Zambians need something special. A free kick is awarded outside the area and the responsibility falls to the captain. The Moroccans are now forced to defend frantically, and for the first time, Johnston Bwalya unshackles himself from his markers. Ten weeks ago, Zambian soccer was shattered by the worst blow imaginable. Now they are 3 matches away from a true sporting miracle, World Cup qualification.
The Zambian team is gone, but you know, the Zambia, another team is back, you know, so I hope that we can go all the way.
One land and one nation is our flag. Dignity and peace is Zambia's star. Like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. Praise thee to praise thee, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free.
Welcome back. Cannes last night, well, it turned out to be, it was to be all there. Now, expatriate players, if you like, who were to pull in the goals. Soze has just joined Atalanta in Italy. Also on the field, Papin and Cantona were to prove their mettle. So, 2-0 after just 19 minutes. The first 2 goals just 3 minutes apart. As you can see, the last touch was actually by Gorlikovic. But that's just splitting hairs. Andrei Kanchelskis plays alongside Kant. 2-1 then. For France, we all thought we were in for a host of goals. But that's the way it was to stay. Despite this penalty, Yuran finding himself in amongst the French defence. But Lama in the French goal, doing his stuff. Well, these two may well meet again in the USA in the World Cup. If they do. Some decent action in the offing. So France win the friendly 3-1.
Week's sporting headlines.
112,000 fans packed inside the Estadio Azteca see Ambriz give Mexico the lead against the USA in the final of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Having scored 24 goals in their 4 previous matches, Mexico dominate the cup holders. The unfortunate Armstrong scores at the wrong end to give them a 2-0 lead. The hosts continue in the same vein in the second half. Alves puts them 3-0 up with his 10th goal in 5 games. Cantu completes the rout as Mexico win their 4th CONCACAF title to cap a memorable month. They were surprise runners-up in the Copa America and now appear genuine contenders for USA 94.
In San Cristobal, Uruguay in blue play Venezuela in a South American Group B World Cup qualifier. The visitors, fielding a full-strength side, including their foreign exiles, score the only goal of the game through Herrera 14 minutes into the second half. They now lie second in the group behind Bolivia.
One of their best performances in a qualifier came against Uruguay in 1989, and they beat them 2-1. Alvaro Peña, who scored the second goal, is in the current Bolivian squad. Bolivia have got off to a great start in this year's campaign with their recent 7-1 defeat of Venezuela. But are the Minnows prepared for the 3 times? But once inside the stadium, the passion of the 50,000-strong crowd swells with each minute. Unfortunately, the first half is characterized by cynicism and play acting from both sides. However, in the second half, the standard of play improves. Bolivia gradually take control as star player Echeverri becomes more and more influential. Is denied the chance to shine when he's substituted by Palinha in the 67th minute, and without their captain, the Brazilians start to panic. Echeverri is brought down in the penalty area. So with 10 minutes to go, Bolivia have the chance to go 1-0 up. Goalkeeper Taffarel is Brazil's hero as Platini Sanchez fails to score the most important penalty kick of his life. The mounting tension on the pitch is reflected by the crowd. A linesman's call against hero Echeverri provokes a violent reaction from the fans. Then, with only 5 minutes of the match left, Echeverri takes off. And with more than a bit of help from Taffarel, the unbelievable happens. Bolivia go 1-0 up. As the seconds tick away, the Bolivian crowd prays for the game to end. But Alvaro Peña has other ideas. (2-0 Bolivia). With the final whistle comes the realization that the Bolivian team have made sporting history. Brazil have been defeated for the first time in a World Cup qualifier. As the sun sets over... It's a tale of 3 goalies as Australia, in yellow, play Canada in a World Cup soccer playoff match. Australian first choice Mark Bosnich is punished by FIFA for refusing to play, and his replacement Robert Zabika is then sent off for a professional foul, forcing inexperienced third choice Mark Schwartzner to take the field. Ironically, it's the hosts who suffer the first defensive lapse, as Dazovic scores an own goal from close range a minute before half-time. But the Canadians strike back when Watson scores an equaliser in the 52nd minute. Canada need to build an advantage before the away leg, and they desperately throw themselves into attack. Mobilio scores the vital goal in the 59th minute and keeps alive Canadian hopes of qualifying for their second World Cup finals.
And speaking of Brazil, they were involved in a friendly match against Mexico in front of 18,000 fans in the Brazilian town of Maceió this weekend. There was no score at half-time, but Brazil took the lead after 49 minutes. A free kick from Dunga headed in very strongly from Marcio Santos. He beat Campos to open the score for Brazil, who were still far from impressive in this match. Indeed, the Brazilians struggling to take control of affairs, and it was no surprise after 67 minutes to see Mexico on the attack. Ricardo Rocha tripping up the Mexican forward Zage. Little doubt about the foul. That led to a penalty, and upstepped Alberto Garcia Aspe to take it. He beat Tafarel, 1-1 the final score. Brazil leaving the field to whistles and jeers from their fans, and they...
To La Paz, Bolivia in green. The first goal coming after 66 minutes. Erwin Sanchez stabbing it home from the corner. 1-0 Bolivia. Bolivia then would be on the attack for the most part, and Echeverri would later make it 2-0. He gets outside and takes a strike from outside the box. The keeper, no chance, and the Bolivians are 2-0 in front. But they weren't done just yet. Melgar would slip one more in the back of the net. 3-0 Bolivia. The final score, Bolivia 3, Uruguay 1. Ecuador, meanwhile, have put further pressure on Brazil. Eduardo Hurtado getting a hat-trick in the 5-0 thrashing of Venezuela. So the Bolivians in great shape at the top of Group B with 6 points from 3 games, and surprising Ecuador in second place. But can you imagine no Brazil at the World Cup finals? The Brazilians desperately needing a win away to disappointing Uruguay on Sunday.
Sweden will take on France in an important World Cup football qualifier in 11 days' time, and they warmed up last night with a friendly match against Switzerland. And despite having to play without 3 regulars, Thomas Brolin, Jonas Thern and Stefan Schwartz, it was Sweden who took the lead after 17 minutes. The goal coming from Martin Dahlin of Borussia Mönchengladbach in Germany after a corner by Rennes. So a fine start by Sweden, but just 1 minute later, Switzerland were to draw on level. The ball wide on the left for Turkilmaz to cross. His cross finding the head of Knupp unmarked. He beat Thomas Ravelli, who was playing his 100th international match for Sweden last night. So 1-1 after 18 minutes. Indeed, that was the score at half-time, and Sweden coming under pressure in the second half, and it was Switzerland who took the lead after 73 minutes. A free kick by Breggy, eventually finding Hare at the near post. In it goes, and after 73 minutes, Switzerland were ahead against Sweden. Almost a carbon copy of the previous move. This time, the Switzerland player free at the far post. 2-1 the score at that point, and indeed that was to be the final score. A disappointing result for Sweden, but it's only a friendly. Still a good result for Switzerland. Both teams, though, look well on the way to qualifying for the World Cup.
Welcome back to Eurosport News. Now a chance to round up some of the football action over the weekend. And let's start in the European qualifying section of the World Cup. Eric Cantona of Manchester United wearing number 11 for France, who playing in white shirts here in their away visit to Sweden. A victory free the side here would virtually secure them a place in the World Cup finals in the USA. The groups developed into a battle between the two, with Bulgaria the outsiders. Sweden, though, determined to make home advantage count, having lost to a double Cantona strike in the away match in Paris earlier this year. Well, certainly Sweden made a lot of the early running in what was a thoroughly open and entertaining match. Darlene heading just wide. France, though, always peppering Ravelli, who was in fine form in the Swedish goal. And they had by far and away the best of the chances in the early part of the second half. A point apiece would put Bulgaria still in with a chance of qualifying, but both sides were clear in their intentions in going for the win. Opening goal of the match then coming 14 minutes from time, and what a beauty. Franck Sauzet smashing it past Ravelli, and France on their way to a place in the World Cup finals. A really great strike this from a fine player, Sauzet, well past Ravelli. But 3 minutes from time, Sweden got a thoroughly deserved equaliser. Jonas Thern through to Martin Dahlin. And a point apiece, and still plenty to play for. Thern with a lovely ball, Dahlin with a cute finish. 1-1. Top two qualify. Bulgaria still in with a chance. Their final match, remember, is away to France. They've got to play Sweden at home first, so it's 2 from 3, with Sweden and France still the favourites. But Bulgaria, well, they are the outsider who could just surprise. Now to the South American World Cup sides. Argentina, big win for them against Peru. Batistuta and Median Bello scoring the goals. Argentina will qualify for the finals if they beat Colombia and Paraguay at home. Only the winner guaranteed a place in America from Group A. Bolivia march on, 5 goals in the last half hour against Venezuela. They need 1 point from their final 3 matches away to Brazil, Uruguay and Ecuador to secure a place. Bebeto and Dongo score for Brazil, who have home matches against Uruguay, Venezuela and Bolivia.
Estados Unidos 1994. Marcador 0 Perú, 0 Colombia. 45 minutos con 42. La pelota le viene cayendo a Freddy Rincón. Cobró Freddy en corto para Wilson Pérez. Wilson Pérez, ¿quién está por la mitad? Freddy, y está el jugador Luis Carlos Perea. Juega Luis Carlos Perea. Perea con el balón, juega para el Pío Valderrama. El Pío Valderrama, ojo que va abierto el Chonto Herrera. Ya lo miró, ya le entregó el balón. La jugó para el Chonto. El Chonto arriba. Detiene Freddy. Amaga Freddy. Cambia, tira. Gol, 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 gol. ¡Gol de Colombia! ¡Golazo de Freddy Rincón! Golazo de Rincón en el tiempo de reposición de la primera parte. Freddy Rincón en una estupenda jugada y la pelota penetra para el 1-0. Hay rechazo, golpe de cabeza, busca desde atrás Andrés Duarte, recoge Andrés Duarte, juega por la mitad para Estanislao Strugo y corta a Leonel. El rechazo de Leonel cae para que recogiera Adolfo el Tren Valencia para Freddy. Viene el remate de Freddy Rincón, gol, 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 gol. De Colombia, gol de Freddy Rincón, minuto 23. Les rechaza el Chonto Herrera, lo persigue Roberto Acuña con el balón, juega con Estanislao Strugo, vuelve a meter el centro para Gabriel González, otra vez se viene desprendiendo, saca el centro por la mitad, Abagó, vino el remate, gol, 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 Paraguay. Gol de Catalino Rivarola. Catalino Rivarola le da el empate. Gabriel González descolgada por la izquierda. Carlos Muñoz devolviendo. Pelota que cae para que recogiera de nuevo el jugador Iván Hurtado y lo deja para Clever Chalala. Perdió, la jugó en el medio Dunga. Pelota para que recoja Bebeto. Bebeto de larga distancia. Viene el tiro de Bebeto. Gol, 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 gol. Gol de Brasil. De Bebeto en el minuto 33 exactamente. Le hizo un extraño el balón a Jacinto Espinosa. Brasil 1, Ecuador 0. Pelota hacia atrás, cae para Ricardo para que tome Dunga. Dunga con el balón, la juega Dunga. Dunga, le abrieron el espacio, puede tirar, la jugó hacia atrás, vino el remate, gol. Gol, 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 gol. Gol de Brasil. Golazo de Dunga. Dunga, tiro abajo a la raíz del palo de la mano derecha de Jacinto Espinosa. Violín.
Denmark against Lithuania in World Cup Group 3, a very important match for the European champions, and a return to the international stage for Michael Laudrup. Playing in this match with brother Brian, it's 3 years since Michael Laudrup represented Denmark. Since then, of course, the Danes have become European champions. Well, will they qualify for the World Cup finals? That's got to be in doubt, but they were determined to put a few goals past Lithuania, who they lost a valuable point to last September. 12 minutes gone, and the opening goal simply had to come. Michael Laudrup racing down on the left-hand side, putting a cross in, and Lars Olsen with the finish. 12 minutes gone, and the experienced Lars Olsen on the end of this fine move. Header on by Brian Laudrup, the volley a sweet one, and the opening goal. Really, Drintra Stavius had no chance. 2-0, and a fine goal it was as well. Brian Laudrup this time with the corner, Frank Pigel with the second, and that was the breathing space the Danes needed. 4 minutes before half-time, Brian Laudrup with the corner, and Pigel with the volley. Lars Olsen from midfield had a significant role, and the Danes' claim for a penalty were denied there when the foul on Arsenal's John Jensen by Stasis Barandslata. But Denmark soon in scoring action once again. After 62 minutes they were to get a free kick in a very dangerous position. Michael Laudrup with the clever touch to brother Brian, on loan to AC Milan, but making no mistake with the finish. Through a crowd of players, Denmark 3, Lithuania 0. Final goal coming up, Kim Vilvoort with a very clever goal after Frank Pigel had made the back flick, and the Danes celebrate a fine victory. Remember though, it's still going to be hard for them to qualify. So we take a look at the group table. Ireland still out in front, Denmark now in second, Spain in third. 3 games each for those three and the last game for Denmark away to Spain. So it's very tight indeed at the top. Ireland look in good shape though. In Group 6 last night, Austria took on Finland. Neither side with a realistic chance of going to the USA in a group that looks to be between Sweden, France and Bulgaria, the outsider of 3. 27 minutes gone though, and Austria, who were out for revenge for a defeat by Finland earlier in the competition, Dieter Kubauer with the opening goal. Sweden and France, who drew 1-1 in this group on Sunday, have the upper hand. But certainly Austria, who with this victory go now to 6 points, can have a major say in what happens, as they've still got to play the other countries. France's next match, incidentally, is away to Finland, and watching was the French manager Gerald Houllier. 4 minutes before half-time, Austria get a second. Once again, the Finns getting caught square, and a fine finish by Guillermo Pfaffenberger past the Finnish keeper Pakunen. Good breakaway move this by Austria, and the keeper really could do little about the second attempt. Into the second half now, and Finland's best opportunity. Lindberg with the shot, but well saved by Wolfhard. Into stoppage time now, and Kinnunen brings down Peter Stoja. Up steps Andreas Herzog, and he makes it 3. A welcome win for Austria in a match that had little significance in the group overall. Well, our confirmation of the group table. Sweden and France, who drew 1-1, as I said, on Sunday, head the table. Bulgaria in 3rd. Big games coming up. Bulgaria against Sweden, and their final game, Bulgaria, is away to France. So they've got it in their own hands.
And boy, did they turn it on. A horrendous mistake by the Bolivian keeper in the 13th minute sent Brazil on their way. And Rai was happy to accept the gift. 1-0 Brazil. Beto and Muller gave the Bolivia's defense a torrid time. And it was Muller who scored Brazil's second in the 19th minute, heading home from the perfect cross. It was a feast after that, Brazil going on to demolish the Bolivians 6-0. Uruguay, meanwhile, kept their slim World Cup hopes alive. 4-0 winners over Venezuela in Montevideo. And this is what it looks like in Group B. Brazil need 3 points from their remaining 2 games to be assured of qualifying. Bolivia, on the other hand, needing just 1 from their last 2 games. Uruguay hanging around just in case. 2 Buenos Aires, and the Argentinians couldn't find a way past Chilavert in the Paraguay goal. Argentina lacked spark in the midfield and was still unlucky not come away with both points. Alfio was smoking it up. The crossbar would save Paraguay here, and the final score, Argentina 0, Paraguay 0. The Colombians kept their side of the bargain, handing out a 4-0 thrashing to Peru. And it's down to the wire now. Argentina must beat Colombia in Buenos Aires Sunday to win the group and qualify automatically for the finals. Anything less and they'll be facing a playoff against Australia. You say wow, I say wow. Yeah. Brian Laudrup was quickly in the thick of things. At 13th minute, his flick on, and Olsen volleys it home, 1-0 Denmark. We go to the second half now, and Laudrup would get his name on the score sheet as well, blasting home from the indirect free kick. No problems for the Danes, 4-0 victors. So the European champions have moved into a challenging position in Group 3. They trail group leaders Ireland by just the solitary point. Still lots to play for, with Spain and Northern Ireland also still in the hunt. The week's only other European qualifier was in Group 6, Austria defeating Finland 3-0. But as you see there, that was a rather meaningless result. You could probably get dropping $1. For more...
In soccer, Michael Laudrup patches up his differences with national coach Richard Müller-Nielsen and returns to wear the Danish number 10 shirt after a 3-year absence. The Barcelona star creates the chance for Olsen to open the scoring against Lithuania in a World Cup qualifier. The European champions go 2-0 ahead through Pingel. Michael Laudrup then sets up younger brother Brian for Denmark's third. The Danes complete a 4-0 victory when Scarbalia scores an own goal. They move to second in Group 3 behind Ireland with 3 games remaining.
In South American qualifying, Rincon scores as Colombia beat Peru 4-0 to move into the only automatic qualifying position in Group A, ahead of Argentina. In Group B, Brazil thrashed Bolivia 6-0 with Bebeto scoring twice. Both teams remain in the 2 qualifying places, with Bolivia now 2 points clear of their rivals.
Disparo de Dunga. ¡Qué violencia la de Dunga! Va a cobrar Diego Simeone. Se va hacia el fondo Fernando Redondo. Muy atento a la marca está Roberto Acuña. En el medio Celso Ayala. Arranca Diego Simeone. Cobra Simeone. Golpe de cabeza espectacular. La pelota va hacia el fondo. Gol, 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 gol. Argentino. De Argentina. El loco Mendoza con el esférico jugó para que recogiera, se llevara el balón y lo entregara el jugador Jorge Amado Núñez para Gabriel González. González con el esférico se coló, pasó de largo, entregó para Struga, está habilitado, viene el tiro. Gol, 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 gol. De Paraguay. Gol de Stanislao Struway. Qué gran jugada la de Gabriel González. Cómo descuenta 2-3. Observe usted el monitor de televisión que tenemos aquí al costado. En el minuto 46, cuando estamos en tiempo de reposición, el equipo paraguayo logra el empate. Paraguay 1, Argentina 1.
Con ese resultado terminó la primera parte. En el segundo tiempo, Redondo en la Argentina se puso el equipo al hombro y vean este jugadón por zona izquierda venciendo a Chilaver. Toda la jugada la hizo Fernando Redondo. Partió desde la mitad de territorio, fue regando rivales y celebren los argentinos 15.000 que llegaron al Estadio Defensores del Chaco. Ahí está la repetición en la llegada de Redondo guapeando y con la pierna izquierda por un costado de la anatomía de Chilaver para el 2-1 parcial. Siguió atacando a Argentina y en esta salida con Simeone como autor intelectual, hombre que llega a trompicones, el Beto Acosta que encara y con la pierna izquierda pone el 3-1 definitivo que le cerró el camino a Paraguay y le abría la esclusa al seleccionado argentino en la eliminatoria mundial. Observémoslo y vivámoslo, degustémoslo en la repetición. Otro ángulo de la jugada, era el 3-1 definitivo en Asunción, Paraguay. Argentina 3, Paraguay 1.
Se ha cansado un poco el público de los cánticos. Ve que no es una presa fácil el equipo colombiano. Han reducido prácticamente los gritos. Pelota para el Pío Valderrama. Atención que se va desprendiendo. La jugó en la salida Sergio Goycochea, el pórtico vacío, viene el tiro. Gol, 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 de Colombia. Gol de Freddy Rincón. El balón en territorio del equipo colombiano para Freddy Rincón. Freddy Rincón ha pisado campo argentino, bola arriba. Atención, la pelota para que recoja el tiro Asprilla. Asprilla con el balón.